All right, guys, welcome back to the Touchline Podcast, episode 78. Please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. Look, we'll be honest with you. We started the pod, but the audio wasn't on, so we had to restart.
We're halfway into the review.
Exactly, yeah.
And then I'm like, did we hit record?
Yeah. And I didn't even notice it.
No one noticed.
Didn't even press the green button.
Maybe we'll put that on the pod.
Anthony skydiving this week, eh?
Yes, I can't wait for it, man. I'm praying the weather is going to be staying the same.
What's the forecast telling us?
They're saying it's 18, sunny clouds, so hopefully it won't change.
I reckon it will change just because it's you and us that we want you to go skydiving. It will change, bro.
They're saying during the week the weather's going to be raining and like showers and that, but I hope it doesn't change on the weekend. Like I hope it stays cleared up because it looks like the weekend should be fine. Yeah, have a long weekend.
Like it got cancelled the first time. Surely it doesn't get cancelled
because
again.
of the wind.
Because you got scared.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was scared. Yeah.
Yeah, look, we're hoping Anthony gets to the skydiving. The fans have been waiting for.
I know everyone's been waiting for it, but make sure everyone. The vlog's going to be coming out soon as well.
Yeah.
And I've paid that video package as well. And I
sorry,
told you what I said.
And sorry, guys, there was no vlog for the Knights and Dogs game.
Yeah,
we couldn't make it. But we're going to be back with the Para Dogs game.
That should be good.
That should be. We should bring that big banner we got.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But
you still have that, don't you?
The only problem, it's going to be very busy. So like,
I don't care.
We'll bring it.
I don't care.
We'll do it.
You still have to bring it with you.
I don't care if there's 100,000 people in that stadium. I'm bringing it, man.
It's going to be a full pack capacity.
It's an iconic banner for us. So
see how many people get mad.
It's good. They'll be
scored
in the corner.
Round 13 now. A great round. Let's recap it. Para and Cronulla. Para won 34-22. And yeah, the Cronulla Sharks, again, you could now start to say pretenders. Yes, they didn't have Nico Hines, Cameron McInnes. They're missing a few players. Parramatta with Mitchell Moses back, Clint Gutherson. A lot of teams were, experts were tipping Parramatta to win, and they did. They're looking good. They're looking solid in the attack once again. But again, defensively, they look a mess as well as a lot of teams do. So yeah, it's a positive that they got the win and a positive that Moses and Gutherson are back. But still, they're a bit concerning heading into the next few fixtures.
Mitchell Moses and Gutherson.
Yeah.
I was saying last week that they're the reason that their season might turn around. And of course, they're the best players for the last 5 to 6 years. And if they were to beat Bulldogs this week, that's going to give them lots of confidence if they want to get top 8 this year. And it's a big game for them this week. But yeah, it was a pretty decent performance. I wouldn't say exceptional, but yeah, they got the job done.
I've heard a few people say the Eels are back. I'm sorry, man. Against a Shark team that didn't have Nico Hines and a Shark team that were pretending to be contenders for that premiership, I'm sorry, man. You beat no one. And I'm not being biased, man.
Yeah.
There is changes, yes, in their attack and their defense. There has been a bit of improvement, but look who's in charge, man. Trent Barrett. They're
former coach.
They're not going to win the spoon, but they're not going to be in the top 8.
There's never hope when he's in charge. Like, no matter how good your team is, if he's in charge, that just loses that faith in them. So yeah, I don't think Eels will be doing good. Yes, they'll get more wins. They'll find a bit of structure in a way. They'd find a few more wins. But yeah, with the way it was under Brad Arthur, it just completely got out of hand.
I'll be worried if I was a Sharks fan now. Again, you've got a couple of hard games coming up, and it just back-to-back defeats and conceding 30-plus tries isn't something you'd want. Yeah. Like you'd rather lose in a very close affair, but those 2 games they got pretty embarrassed. Yeah,
something they can take out of that game is that try with Will Kennedy.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was a crazy try.
Very, very good try. The way you don't see that a lot. You don't see fullbacks. Usually see fullbacks just run, get tackled, or run sideways, get tackled. But he actually took on the line. He saw, that left side was empty, took it on, passed it. The Sione
gave it to Ronaldo.
Was it Ronaldo Militalo made the run back inside to Kennedy? He went and scored. You don't see that being risky on the first play.
Contender for trial of the year.
Yeah, it probably would be.
Not with Xavier's coach.
He's killing it, man.
That's one of the greatest of all time.
He already won it.
He's already won it. When you see that try like that, there's no need to give it to him now. Knights and Bulldogs, very, very impressive performance from the Dogs. 32 points to 2. Knights were embarrassing. Like a lot of teams are saying, Bulldogs just beat the Knights. They're not the best team. But look at on the ladder, we're 14 points each. We've scored a bit more points than them. We've defended much better than them. But again, we're on the same term in regards to where we are on the position. So we can't say it's Knights. That's a Knights team that made a late run to the finals, made top 5. So Knights are a good team.
Yes, streak now.
They won a four winning streak. Their last loss was against the Bulldogs, and now again they lose against the Bulldogs. So yeah, man, that defense was amazing. Like,
hey, what's that? What am I pointing at? A wall. A bloody brick wall. Our defense was. It is. Our defense, bro. You know what? Put it this way: 120 minutes of football, no one has scored against
crazy.
us.
It's actually.
That's what won us the game. Knights had no answers.
Exactly. 2 sin bins, no Burden, no kicker, no Carter, no Fox got injured. So it just shows, like, even without a full lineup, we're still defending the way we should be defending, and just shows what Serrata has brought into this club. Yes. Last year we didn't see much of the defense, and us fans, a lot of us question him if he's the right coach. But this year you can see he's got a squad that's so fit that on the last minute you can just see they're not tired. Knight's forward pack was destroyed. After like 25 minutes, they were tired. Safiti was on the ground. Just our plays look so much good that day against Knights.
So what I've seen about Cameron Serrata, what he's changed, the whole structure for defensive.
Yeah.
That's why he was a defensive coach back in Penrith when he was in the under-20s as a coach.
Yeah.
What he brings to Bulldogs now, he wants to make that defensive structure better.
Yeah.
So what we saw on Friday night was a big difference.
Yeah.
I was very happy with first half and second half, the way how Bulldogs helped each other out with their communication. I've noticed their communication gotten better.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to see more every week of the game.
Exactly.
So that defensive was absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like that. But it was impressive win. Yeah, sorry.
The unity about the club, like the togetherness, like when who got Simbin? It was Sexton. Yeah. When he got Simbin, he was like motivating the players. He got Curtis Moore clapping and turning the players focus, defend well. It's just there's something different about this team this year. Yeah. It's so great to see, and it's good that we have our Bulldogs back.
And even with the first Simbin with Connor Tracy, I wasn't sure about that. That wasn't his fault. I think the Newcastle shoulder charged him first.
It was shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah,
and
it was shoulder to shoulder. It was a by accident. Anyway,
even Andrew Johns, Brad Fiddler saying that's not a sin bin.
Exactly.
But with Knights, it's like Bulldogs' defense was 10 out of 10. But again, you got to be doing better in your attack because their attack lacked, spark. Yeah. Daniel, what's it called? What's his name? The fullback.
Connor Tracy.
No,
David Armstrong.
That's Armstrong. Yeah, he looked a bit nervous that game. We saw him in the first half, a number of kicks where he looked like he almost lost it, and then eventually he did lose the ball, and I think it led to the Bulldogs scoring a try. So the Knights were completely off it. 2 points. In a way we kept them scoreless because they didn't score a try whatsoever. So that was like on their behalf, that was a terrible performance, probably the worst performance by any team this year, I'd say.
And you look at the 4 winning streak, it hasn't been really the best. Like they just scraped a win against Warriors, against Titans when they got that comeback. So that 4 winning streak doesn't really show if Knights have really improved. Like that winning streak last year was a complete different side than this year. So Knights, I still think they're going to be competing for top 8. But what I saw from them against Dogs, to not score points against twice when Bulldogs were 10. Was it 12 men down?
Yeah.
It just, not 12 men down, 1 man down. It just shows they're lacking something. And even if Ponga was there, I don't reckon they would have scored.
There was one set that made me realise 1,000,000% that the Dogs are going to win this premiership. How many 6 against did they have?
Oh, yeah.
How many set restarts did they have? And now defense just kept pushing them back, kept going and going. That's when Sexton got sent off.
And there was even a time where it was at the end of the first half. They broke the line, the Knights. They found the gap. Like, they created the gap through the way they were playing. They went through in the middle under the post, and then it was one of the Bulldogs players, I can't remember, I think Connor Tracy, and then Kurt Morin made a tackle, and the guy lost the ball on the last second.
Yeah, we saw that,
There was a time where Jackson Hastings went through the line. The line was open, and the pressure of the Bulldogs made him fumble the ball. So, like,
we had more missed tackles.
We actually did.
That was so bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
So bad.
First half was like, I think it was like 40 missed tackles, something like that. It was very high.
No, it was 48 missed tackles.
No, I think it was like
33. Yeah, I think it was.
Anyway, it was high, and then Knights had only lost missed tackles 10. So the problem with Bulldogs is there's always problems. It's last week it was penalties. This week it's missed tackles. But this week we're lucky that
and a lot of errors. We had it.
There's still things we've got to improve because every single game there's something. But again, can't complain. 32 points to 2. Need to beat Para. And
top 8's getting
very close.
It's next game, I think top 4. But anyway,
I think top 4 too, man.
To be honest, we're actually 2 points behind top 8. Top 4. Sorry.
Technically, if our game was first this week and we won, we go top 4.
Yeah.
Technically.
Wow, crazy is that?
Oh yeah, look, it's good to be Doggies fans right now, but it's not good to be a Panthers fan. Shock defeat against the St. George Illawarra Dragons.
22-10.
Good on the Dragons, man. You know, you got to beat what you get. You know, even if Panthers don't have a strongest team, that team is still capable of beating Dragons because of the structure of the team.
Wasn't
Dragons,
even the B grade team, it was the C grade team.
Yeah,
it was.
It was that like that.
It was C grade Panthers, man. Look, take it, Dragons. It's a win. A win against Panthers. Win against Panthers is a win against Panthers. You know, but. Just take it with a grain of salt. You're not going to win the premiership now. Relax.
They just got to take the 2
relax,
points.
Joey Maroon.
But you look at Dragons, first half they weren't good, and then Shane Flanagan came into the sheds during the first half, after the first half, and he had a big go at him and was trying to motivate him into the second half, and they just dominated that second half game.
2 tries in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Tyrus Sloan scored, and I think
you mean from
Dragons?
Dragons. Yeah.
And again, I've said about Dragons a number of times. They're a good team, and yes, we understand it was Panthers' lower team, but still it's a massive win for them. They needed that, especially with last week's defeat against the Bulldogs, 44-12. And again, look, honestly, anyone's going to get top 8. At this point, anyone can get it.
It's actually
it's very close.
Yeah, it's very close.
Like from 14th or 13th to 4th, it's only 3 points difference.
That's crazy.
That's how close it is.
What about Jesse McLean, the young 19-year-old?
He
Put his first try.
Yeah.
That was a good try, but
that was a very good try. How about when the tackle he got smacked by? That was so funny.
He put a good shift. That try was, as you said, was amazing. And at 19-2, it just shows the structure of Panthers and how many plays they're bringing in. 19-year-old. And, scoring a try like that, it's very impressive. And I don't think Panthers, of course you don't want to lose the game, but I think there's a positive in that defeat with all those youngsters getting some experience and, building on that, when, let's say Brian Toto leaves or they have backup. So, and Sunia Taruva's leaving to Tigers, so he might be the next to replace him.
It's a lot happening in Penrith. A lot of the main players are actually leaving because, that's where the money is going.
Exactly, yeah.
So they want to go to a different club, a new start. So, but Dragons, they made 8 line breaks, and they forced 48 missed tackles from Penrith Panthers too.
That's good, yeah.
Which is really good.
It just shows they were up for in the second half.
They were.
And I've always said this, I think if they don't get it this year, I think next year Dragons are going to be really massive contenders, maybe for top 4. I just feel... I think top 4 next year.
Top 4.
They're only 1 year into their process under Shane Flanagan, and they're already doing well compared to what Titans have done in 4 years. So they're already 3 years earlier than what we were in our process. I think next year, mark my word, the squad they have, the coach they have, they will get top 4 next year.
I want what you're on. I want it.
I'm putting my house on it.
Or you get at least battle for the top 4.
No, I think
just say, let them get in the 8 first.
I think they've got a great squad, and squad depth is good. If Leilua isn't playing, they've got Raymond there. They've even got, I don't know how you pronounce the name.
Blake Laurie. They
got a very good
Toby Couchman,
great forward pack, and I think. As a team, you need a good forward pack, and that's what we've been lacking in a lot of other clubs, and that's what they have, Dragons.
Well, final game we're going to be recapping is the Dolphins and Canberra Raiders game. It was a good game. Dolphins were in charge for a lot of it, but that first half was try after try.
25-26.
Yeah.
What a game. The scoreboard says how good it was.
I almost got my bold right on that first half.
What was it?
I said 18-16.
What was the
All I
half?
needed was... Dolphins to get one more try in that half, and I get it right.
Yeah, right. But in regards to that, Marshall King played very well. He's such a good hooker.
Yeah.
I think very underrated. No one really talks about Marshall King, how good he is. He was amazing. And even we'll talk about that field goal moment when Jordan Rapana took it. His fingers touched it. So in a way, that's a dropout because he's the last man to touch it.
That's what I was frustrated about, because I know when Jermaine Osaka got the field goal, he got it definitely in. But there was extra 2 that didn't go their way. I think there was a penalty or something.
Okay, yeah.
Are you talking about Rapana's
Jermaine Osaka, when he kicked the field goal, apparently someone was obstructed or...
Yeah, there was a penalty to that.
I saw that.
That was, I think, fair. Yeah, it was.
But then Jordan Rapana got the last one before they won the game. I was a bit confused because like how you mentioned about when Jerome Marshall King hit the fingertip of his on his touch, he actually did touch it.
Yeah.
But the ref said it went back. How does that work?
Because the time was finished,
Running,
the game had finished, and there was no time left. I think they couldn't use their captain challenge anymore.
They didn't have a captain challenge.
Oh, they didn't?
They had it, yeah.
No,
so why would they? Oh, yeah. So then once
still,
the game's done and the sign, they can't make any more calls.
Yeah, but everyone was complaining about that game
I think
too.
Marshall King was complaining because still the bunker could interfere. You know, you've seen a number of occasions the referee can say we got a no try just to check that instance. So they could have, but they ran out of time. And Raiders again inconsistent. They're winning games, they're losing games. When you write them off, they do good, and when you're expecting them to win, they do bad. So
that's Raiders every single year. Every game, it's always a close game. Again, there was a stat during the start of the year where that was their first time they smashed the team 30 plus or something.
Yeah,
something around that, and that just shows that Raiders are a club where they're not going to win games comfortably. It's always tight games.
Yeah, and even now both Dolphins and Raiders get a bye, so that puts them 4 points clear off top 8, which is a massive, massive boost. Massive 2 points for them. Dolphins, we're going to heading soon to who's been the standout team, but they're really impressing me. Like I didn't even expect them to do this good again this season. Last season we saw them, doing good, but slowly faded off. But it's round 14 and they're still playing good, so they're in contention for top 4. Yeah. So
what about that Rapana shoulder? He's similar to Connor Tracy's one.
Yeah.
That was more of a penalty than the
Connor Tracy one.
Yeah,
and they didn't give it.
Yeah, see, and they didn't give it. And again, the referees have been a bit better too when there was a lot of heat on them and a lot of pressure on them. They have been better, but again, things like that, it costs team games.
It does. And one thing as well, Elliot Whitehead, he's always on the ref every single time. I don't like to say anything bad, but it's just like, all right, let the ref do his job and then just keep going, bro.
I was saying to my mates the other day that I feel Raiders are the Manly of this generation. Back in say the 2008, 2014, Manly were like the grubbiest team, and I feel Raiders are that. Yeah. Especially against us and a few other teams, just they sook on every call. They've got dirty players, and it's something that it's been happening for the last couple of years.
Because of Ricky Stewart.
That's the type
Ricky
of coach he is.
It's that old mentality back in the late 90s when they used to be like that, when Mal Meninga was there, Laurie Daly was there.
We see it right in front of our eyes when he's in those press conferences,
and he's always angry and he's on the mood.
Yes.
Even he's re-signed for them to 2029, bro.
Yeah, that's
crazy. But
that's massive.
He's had a long stint out there, and he's doing good, man. They're keeping him, and
still no premiership.
He wants to get a premiership for the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, that's his goal.
We don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, but anyways, let's move on to the round 14 tips. And this week's who you got is the State of Origin.
First of all, let's go through the league standings after round 13. Pretty much it's the same standing as last week, and I'll post on Instagram so you can see the full standing. So I'm in first. I got 2 total tips last week. Samuel got 2. He's in second. The guests are in third. They got 2, and you and Anthony got 1 as well. So same position as last week. Yep. The special guest for this week is Random South guy.
They got 1 tip.
Yeah, 1 tip.
Yeah,
there was only 5 games.
Sorry, that's right.
Special guest is Random South guy. He has a lot of funny content on his Instagram account, so make sure you go.
He was on Channel 7.
He was on not Channel 7, Sunrise.
No, but I think now.
Recently.
Another one.
Wow, bro. Make sure you go
shout out Random
follow
South
him on Instagram. So let's get on the way for the touchline tips.
Okay,
first game, Anthony.
First game, Dragons versus West Tigers.
I'm going Dragons.
I'm going Dragons. I think, at home, a big win against Penrith, they're going to be full of confidence.
I'm going Dragons as well.
Bill?
I'm going Tigers.
Tigers upset?
Yeah, Tigers upset.
And Random South guy is going for Dragons.
Because Benji Marshall's mind is refreshed.
We'll talk about that soon, actually. Next game.
Next game, we got Gold Coast Titans versus South Sydney Rabbitohs.
I'm going Titans.
Yeah, I'm going Titans as well.
I think Rabbitohs will get the job. I think Titans... It's going to always be a close game. I know. I'm feeling Rabbitohs will get the win.
Yeah, put me Rabbitohs too.
Rabbitohs and Random South guys also going Rabbitohs.
Oh, I thought he got Titans.
Oh, yeah, I thought so too.
He did. Sorry.
Fake fan. Next one.
Anyways, next game we got Cowboys versus Warriors.
I'm going Warriors for the win.
I'm going Cowboys.
Okay.
I'll go mine. I think Cowboys have a lot of players in Origin duty, so a lot of players not going to be refreshed, and after coming back from Origin, going to be a tough game. So I think Warriors will be ready.
I'm going Cowboys.
Cowboys and Random South guy is going Cowboys as well.
Okay.
Next game we got Brisbane Broncos versus Cronulla Sharks.
Broncos. easily.
Yeah, Broncos as well.
Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos.
And random South guy, Broncos.
Easy one. Next
Especially they lost their last game, so they would want to get a win.
Yeah, exactly.
Next game, Sunday, 2:00. We got Melbourne Storm versus Newcastle Knights.
Easy one again, Melbourne. I
Yeah,
think
easy Melbourne Storm, man.
Yeah.
13 plus
Melbourne.
game.
97% to 3% tip.
Wow.
That's big.
Random South guy also gone for Melbourne Storm.
Next one.
Penrith, we got Penrith versus Manly, sorry.
Big game, actually. Both teams need a win. But yeah, you got to stick safe and go Panthers.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Penrith as well.
Yeah, Penrith.
Penrith and random South got Penrith.
And last game?
Last game of the week, Monday, Bulldogs versus Parramatta Eels. I'm sticking with Dogs.
I'm going Bulldogs.
I don't know. Something's telling me Parramatta. Trent Barrett's in charge, man.
Yeah, maybe.
He might get
no way. Bulldogs all the way. 7 days a
Bulldogs
week.
all the way.
I'm going Doggies 13 plus.
I think the only strategy that Bulldogs will beat Parramatta with their
defense.
Yeah.
It's about time we smash.
That's how you win games.
That's how we're winning games.
Yeah. Who do you run himself?
Bulldogs as well.
Okay, he's going Doggies. Now Origin boys. Around the corner, we'll be going there, sitting in the Blatchy Blue area.
Blatchy Blues.
So stay tuned on that. We'll be producing a vlog,
Catch
fan
us
cams.
there.
Yeah, so if you're there, you want to say hi to us, you're more than welcome to. So let's start off with the who you got. Anthony, what's your score prediction?
Well, this is a prize. I know I'm going to stay with my state, New South Wales, but I'm tipping Queensland to win, 26-14.
Okay, not bad. That's a big, bold prediction, actually, but it's good. I went 26-18 New South Wales. Charbel went 22-18 New South Wales. And Bill?
14-12 Queensland.
Ooh.
Oh, you're going...
Yeah, I feel like they do an upset
I
over there.
think we should book them a Queensland ticket.
Yeah, do you want to see the Queensland?
I ain't a Queenslander. I'll never be a Queenslander. Even though I drink 4X Gold and it's my favorite beer, I'm not a Queenslander.
Get out of the state. Get out.
But, hey, my heart says New South Wales. My head is saying Queensland.
I'm the same thing.
I reckon you have a Queensland jersey.
Their team is stacked, bro.
It is.
Their team is stacked,
I reckon
man.
you both wear Queensland jersey than Blues jersey, and when Queensland score, take it off and celebrate.
Hey, you're lucky, but we're lucky for Feeder's not playing. It could have been a bigger blowout.
Anytime, Anthony.
Anytime try scorer, Brian Tyler.
Okay, I went James Tedesco.
I went Angus Crichton, did I?
Went Reece Robson.
I went Dearden. I feel like
I was going to actually go him too.
He's a good player. First try scorer.
Jeremiah Nanai.
I went Zach Lomax.
I went Angus Crichton.
I went Brian Toto.
Brian Toto. Next one, Anthony, is man of the match.
Tom Dearden, man of the match.
Yep, I went James Tedesco.
I went Nico Hines.
Yep.
Okay.
Bill?
Yeah.
I went for the hammer.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, he's a good player, that one.
Final one, bold.
Bold prediction, Queensland to score the last 2 tries of the match and win the game. And Tom Dearden to be awarded man of the match.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
Who's your man of the match overall?
Tom Dearden.
Oh, you put Tom Dearden, so both of them, yeah.
Sorry, my man of the match was James Tedesco as well. Oh, sorry. My bold prediction is James Tedesco to score the winning try. Charbel went Nanai, Sua, and Crichton all to score. And Bill?
I went... No, I don't know. This is the same thing I did last year, but I'm going to add a bit of flavour to it.
What, sent off?
The Luai to get sent off and cost them the game.
What are you going? Luai
this
again.
time.
Yeah, Luai to get sent off and cost them the game. Cost us the game.
So Luai sent off.
Yeah, Luai to get sent off and which would lead to a Queensland try.
Okay, Luai sent off.
Which
that'll be good one.
Yeah. To Queensland.
In other words, cost us the game.
So
he gets sent off.
Say Luai gets sent off, but Queensland don't score. Is that wrong?
Or do you mean instantly they score?
On the back end of him getting sent off, they'll score.
Okay,
the first play, they'll score.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Fuck, that's such a niche one, man. That's such a
he gets that,
narrowed it down.
I think he'll get it right. I'm pretty sure he'll get it right.
Okay, now, well, I've mentioned James Tedesco in my who got, so that means Edwards has been out due to injury. I'm a bit disappointed in him. You know, he's never, ever got injured. As I can remember on top of my head, he's always a fit player, always playing. You know, he plays the whole season without any issues. And again, once Origin comes in, he gets selected, he's out. And it's just...
There's something behind it.
It's not meant to be.
What did those Queenslanders do to our... What did those Queenslanders do to our Edwards? They must have put something in his drink or put something.
Must have put something, poisoning or something.
Look, it's annoying, man.
As much as I wanted Edwards to start, I've been saying it for a few weeks before the lineups came out, but Tedesco's still a good option. He's going to still produce. He knows what it is. He knows what it's like to play in Origin. He's going to be up for it. He wants to earn his spot for Game 2. So it's a big performance for him. So sometimes it's not actually the worst thing that he's playing because we could see the best out of Tedesco this year instead of Origin.
And that's why I put him as my man of the match and to score the winning shot. I just think it's like it's meant to be. He's going to have, I reckon he's going to have the best game ever. I really think so.
I hope so.
Yes.
Things like this is what motivates a player, gives them that drive to want to do good. And unfortunately for Edwards, I'm so gutted for him. Hopefully he gets back in for Game 2 selection. I think if Tedesco does do good, Edwards will still get his chance because it's only right. He was supposed to have that
What
game
happened to
spot.
Nico Hines last year?
What? Oh, yeah.
Similar situation.
Yeah,
it is
you
a
could
similar situation.
Look, who knows? Michael Maguire, if Tedesco does good, he might do a, turn around and give Tedesco the Game 2 jersey.
Origin's going to be so good, man.
It's going to be so
It's going to be
so
very interesting. Like we're going to see it on Wednesday night. We've got to see what's going to happen on the field.
Tedesco has been amazing this year.
Yeah.
Like last year, terrible. But there's been so much pressure on him that he's used that pressure as a way to get better, and he's smashing it for Roosters.
Yeah, Tedesco has been so good this year, and for him, like I said, for him to play Origin, he's gonna really prove something to Mike Maguire and the fans of New South Wales, especially because we were all against him after that poor season last year. Not majority his fault, but he played a part. He had that Game 1 performance was so bad. That really affected.
And he never passed the ball.
He never. He's a big hog, which he has to improve in game 1. So, it's still good. I think we'll still get the result at Game 1, but hopefully it does prove everyone wrong.
What happens if he just plays an average game? Like, he doesn't play the best and he doesn't play the worst. What if he just plays all right?
Then he won't get selected.
Exactly. And he's not even...
But not enough to get rid of him. But like he just does enough.
So he scores.
Like, he still does his job. He scores maybe one try. Just like... I don't know.
I know what
like
you mean.
He's
not effective.
Meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
I think then in that scenario, you can't blame him you can't praise him. He's just been decent.
But do you drop him for Edwards too? In that
I would.
stage?
Yeah,
I would do as well. Because Edwards actually deserved that spot.
But how can you count on Edwards playing a spectacular game in Game 2? Especially since, say, we win this Game 1.
That's a good point because the pressure's going to be on Edwards then.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because if we lose, there's lots of pressure on Edwards, so you rather stick with Tedesco.
Or if we lose or win, like you don't want to go to the side.
Exactly.
You want to
if we lose, Edwards surely comes in. But if we win, then it's in the air. It could be given to Tedesco.
I think we lose. We've lost the series.
Yeah.
If we lose Game 1?
Yeah, I think it's done.
Not necessarily.
But why?
Because MCG is still winnable.
Do you know how bad our record at Suncorp is?
No, but we're playing Game 2 MCG.
I'm saying Game 3.
Oh, you mean we lose the series?
We lose the whole series. Not Game 2. We lose the whole series.
Yeah, but even if we win that, we could still lose it. You know what I mean? Because look. Anyways, Tedesco, we know we can rely on him because we know what he's made of. But now Benji Marshall, he's introduced something new. He's given his team a fresh week, so no training whatsoever during their bye round. He thinks it's right. This is what he said actually. He goes, I told all my staff to have the time off, mentally freshen up, and not even think about footy. In my view, it's important to recharge and refresh. Do you think this is the right move that he's done?
Look, I'm going to relate it first to football, what has happened to Arsenal. So we were in a bad patch in December. We were losing lots of games. There was no style. We weren't winning, and the winning culture had left for that whole month. So the manager decided to take the boys to Dubai and train over there. Nice weather, relaxing. And after that trip for 2 weeks, we came from Dubai only losing one game that whole year.
Wow.
In 2024. But of course we didn't win a trophy. But that just shows having some small break can really help the team a lot. I'm not saying it's going to help Tigers to a greater extent and get into the top 8, but maybe it can help them win more games, stabilize their performances, and maybe push for like a higher position in the table. So it could work, but sometimes there's a negative. You need to be focusing when your club's that low on the ladder and things are not going your way. So there's pros and cons about this.
Yeah, because on that, if you're not training that whole week on the things you need to improve, so when that week comes, you're a week behind rather than being 2 weeks ahead, having that extra training session with no games, So I go with what you're saying, but again, there comes a big negative when you're not training because, again, you just need to keep on staying in touch with what you need to improve on, trying to get it right because when the game comes, you need to be ready because the other team's already improved and had an extra week ahead.
Yeah,
so
because 1 week of not training, you lose like a lot of things. Like
100%.
You lose just a bit of touch in your performance.
At least they didn't go to Bali.
Yeah,
or even Thailand as well.
But Panthers can do this.
Yeah.
Not Tigers. Not when you've been sitting at the bottom of the table for the past 2 years and won those wooden spoons and could potentially win another one. You know, this is where you see what your team is made of. You know, willing to put in the hours outside of training hours. You know, in a bye week as he's trying to do this for this week. You know, with not allowing them to train this week. You know, this is where they're supposed to train. This is where they're supposed to, train harder.
Yeah.
It's a mentality thing, man. And if your coach Benji Marshall is saying this, he's supposed to be leading the pack.
Like
he's supposed to instill something into them where they want to train. Let's go, boys, G up, let's go, let's train. Let's who do they got the next week?
Regardless,
Dragons. Let's beat the Dragons next week. Let's put in the best training we've ever put on ever.
Yeah,
exactly, and get the right results. But with this whole situation with Benji Marshall, look, some people say it is right, some people say it's wrong. But with Dragons, you got a big match against Dragons.
Bro, it's not. It's just wrong.
It is wrong.
I don't know if anyone's saying it's right.
I wouldn't take a day off with the team. I would never do that. You got to keep going.
You start to question Benji Marshall because during the start of the year, we mentioned something about him saying about family time.
Balance.
Something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Look, I've got so much respect for Benji. He's such a great player, and I think he's got a bright future in the game as a coach. But that's 2 times it's happened. He's spending more time, spending time with his family. We've addressed that it's important too, and putting Tigers aside, and now again on another break.
Yeah.
So is that really the coach you want?
Where does his commitment lie?
Exactly.
The team or the paycheck?
Yeah.
But bro, you have to be 100% in, 1,000,000% in, bro.
100%.
If anyone's going to turn this Tigers team around, it's going to be that coach in charge, who is willing to put in the hours, put in the work.
Even the training as well.
I'm not trying to knock. I don't know what happens behind the scenes and how much work he puts in and how much he cares about the team, because I bet he cares a lot about the team.
Of course he does.
What it shows to the general public is you taking a week off training.
You don't care.
Doesn't solve any issues, and you don't care about the team.
Look, I think he does want the best for the club. He's a Tigers legend.
Of course.
Of course he wants them to be returning back to finals for like the old days. But what I've seen from him in those 2 things we've talked about is a bit worrying. If I was a Tigers fan.
I think he's trying a new approach to things. But again, you look at successful coaches come from coaches that are disciplined, coaches that, want to win. And by wanting to win, you're going to have to put the hard work in constantly every single day. You look at so many managers, across NRL for many, many years. Every single time you can see them in, when they're in the coach's box, angry, furious. Sometimes, for example, Craig Bellamy, he's the best example. Melbourne are winning. It's the last, 2 minutes. They make a mistake. He's so angry. You could see by his face. He's yelling. He's swearing. And that's the right mentality you need to have. And sometimes with Benji, you might feel he's a bit more relaxed and a bit more on the cool side, which sometimes is a good thing, but sometimes is a bad thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you sign a full contract as an NRL coach, you got to be full committed on everything, every details on the field and off the field too. Not just with the players, but with the coaching staff and the management as well. Because is it about money, or it's about being the passion that you've been there all your life at Tigers,
and you want to do good,
and you played that club as well for nearly 10 years of your life, and now you just want to sit back and look, I don't want to go too personal, but if I was a coach, I would be there full time.
Yeah.
Be on the field with the players, see what they're doing with their mistakes. How do you adjust things? You want to get better every single week so you can get the right results. You don't want to be weak.
Yeah.
You got to be strong. You got to stay positive.
Yeah,
you have to have a positive mindset. If he doesn't have a positive mindset, he's just wasting his time.
Yeah, look, well said. Again, with Benji, it's a tough one. As you said, people agree, people don't agree. But now let's move on to David Armstrong, the Knights fullback, who's currently just replacing Ponga as he's injured. He's been linked with a move to the Sydney Roosters. The Knights have offered him a contract, but again, the Roosters are interested. Personally, for me, I think it is a good move. With Tedesco starting to get older now, hitting his 30s, it's right to start thinking about the future, start planning for the future, bringing Armstrong, maybe put him as 14th utility, just helping to start adjusting. And when Tedesco's time is up, which I feel maybe they could part ways very soon, Armstrong comes and fills him, and he's a very good fullback. So I think it's a very good move.
But again, you could see it like that. Tedesco, he's getting old, but also Ponga is a player where he's very prone to injury. He has a lot of concussion injuries, even knee injuries. So something like that could persuade him to join. Persuade him to stay at Knights. If the coach were to, of course, persuade him to talk about Ponga, his injuries, he might not be a fullback long term. So if he was to get a attractive offer from Knights to stay at the club, I think it would be probably the right choice to stay at Knights because, of course, they've given him the opportunity to have his NRL debut. But, of course, you can't say no to Roosters where they're one of the biggest clubs in the game. They're on a great process under, again, Trent Robertson with the new players they've recruited. So it's a tempting offer from both, whether he would stay at Knights or Roosters. But if I was David Armstrong, I would probably join Roosters. Yeah. Just because of the success they've brought over the years,
probably,
and that's the only point because of the success.
Exactly,
man. What they're building right now too, you know, that they're in contention. They're contenders to win the premiership too, of course. So it's a better option than Knights, man. Let's face it, Knights are not going to be winning anytime soon.
Yeah, it'll be a while, man.
And look, sometimes if he loves the club, that's a different story. Sometimes that he wants to be a one-man club, which is very rare you find these days. So that might be the only reason why he might choose Knights, wants to, you know, become a legend of the club, you know, if Ponga's going to have his issues. So again, that could be something that holds him back. But again, from you could say business point of view, if you want to be successful as an NRL player, Roosters would be the proper move.
Yeah. Look, I have a question now. We're halfway through the season. Has there been really a standout in 2024? You look, the ladder is very, very close.
Yes.
But, okay, who's your standout?
Yes.
Oh, the Bulldogs?
Bro, I don't even have to say it.
We know
yes,
why.
the Bulldogs.
Yeah, of course.
But you can't go past them. But why? But why you laugh? Like, bro, our defense has shocked the league. We're second. Don't we have the second best defense?
Yes.
120 minutes of football again. No try scored.
Yeah.
Man, you don't see that from a bottom 8 side. That's why we're going to be top 4. And our attack needs improvement. Yes,
I think it's clicking.
But it's been good. It's been good. A lot of players are standing out too, man. We're starting to see the best of Karaz, man. How many good games has he?
He's been killing it, man.
Kicks is playing good. Crichton's been playing good. Burden's been playing good. Marnie, they're all clicking.
They're all switched on. They're all switched on.
The only thing we need is a better goal kicker, and that's all.
Yeah, I think so.
To be fair with Sexton, yes, he hit the post twice, but at least he hit the target in a way.
Yeah.
He could be a potential because his kicks actually look very good, actually. Burden, again, don't get me wrong, Burden had like a 26 goal streak last season. But I don't know, something about him is a bit off this year.
Yeah.
But again, the standout for me, Bulldogs is up there, but I think Dolphins. I think them being in the top 4 right now, battling it out with many clubs, you know, they've really impressed me. I was not expecting them to be 4th right now, round 14. So I think they've been most impressive.
Like Bulldogs, like you talk about standout, which I could agree in some way because look at the games where we should have won, but the calls didn't go away or we've missed the conversion. So these little like moments could have put us in top 2, like top 4 right now. So I could say, we are probably the standout. But for me, I would agree with Sam. I think Dolphins have really shocked the competition. I think everyone predicted them to be below 13th, below 14th. And what
even Bulldogs too.
Even Bulldogs. What do you mean Dolphins? Like,
but the top 4 right now.
All right, the top 4.
Such a great achievement.
But they weren't they in the 8 last year?
Yeah, but they were in the 8 for like the first 6 rounds and then they completely went down.
But where did they finish?
They finished above us.
11,
but they had a good run. Like there hasn't been a jump in performance.
Yeah.
Well, but last year injuries did affect them, and there was performance that wasn't good. But I think this year they've really improved, and they haven't really had a game where they have gone
in comparison to Bulldogs, we were at the bottom 66-0.
That's true.
Bro, there's a big jump, a massive jump.
But we're still 9%.
Yeah, I know, but we will be in the 8. But I'm just saying, like, we finished 15th last year.
Yeah, 15th. I think they finished 14th.
But I'm just talking about performance-wise. Like, Bulldogs were here 2023. We're here now.
Yeah.
Dolphins were here. They're about there now. Like, there's not a big jump in performance.
Bulldogs and Dolphins are probably the standout this year, would say, because Panthers have. Look, Panthers will always be such a good team, but they haven't been a standout this year. Melbourne again. I've predicted them top 2, but they haven't really impressed me.
Cronulla's back off again.
They are.
They went back down.
Maybe Bulldogs and Dolphins are.
No, you got to pick one, man. It's Bulldogs.
I'm saying
and
Dolphins.
I don't want to be biased, but if I was a non-Bulldogs fan, I promise you I'd say the Bulldogs.
Now, our defense is so scary. Like
it is.
Which is why we're up there, which is why we've got a good points differential. And again, 100% Bulldogs have been one of the best teams this season. I know we're 9th, but as you said, you got to look at the progress. But again, there's something about Dolphins that look, I don't know, from 14th to now 4th place, and they look strong. They look strong. I don't know.
And look, it is fair to say Bulldogs too,
Yeah,
because we're only
100%.
2 points behind them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a big difference. If it was like 6 different, but yeah, Bulldogs and Dolphins are the standout. What about you, Anthony?
Look, I love the Bulldogs to death with all my heart, but I can see Roosters, man. Roosters are on top right now with their attack, with their defense. They got the best players as well. They bought Dominic Young. They bought Spencer Linu as well.
Yeah.
Angus Crichton as well. Even Zach Docker-Clay as well.
Yeah,
he used to play for Bulldogs as well.
Back like a utility.
A utility role as well. He's playing very good. And now, like, they're actually getting better every single week with their combinations as well. And honestly, like, they got a big forward pack as well.
Yeah, their forward
Tyron May, he's so dangerous.
He's good.
Every time he starts, he really performs.
And now he's stepping up and he's putting tries every week too. I've noticed that these last couple of weeks. Angus Crichton, double tries.
Roosters got a very good attack. And again, they've been up there as one of the standouts, especially in attack. But again, they're very inconsistent. They're sitting in 8th. And to a team that's supposedly doing very good is sitting 8th. And to Roosters with the plays they have, the quality they have, you know, yes, their attack's been good, but they're still in 8th. So there's a difference.
And I said in my NRL bold prediction for the ladder, Roosters to be in top 4 as well.
Yeah, so that.
And I'm expecting that, but it's not happening. It's it's okay at the moment, but they need to step up.
Exactly.
You know?
Look, now for the second week running, we've got another podcast probe. Now the question is, should the NRL bring back the benefit of the doubt system?
The try of the benefit of the doubt. I think they should. I think they should bring it back.
Yeah, look.
Back in the olden days, like when they used to see the try, they used to say like, "Oh, it was 50%, yes, 50%, no." But when they go into closer vision, I think they should bring it back on the screen. Benefit of the doubt. I was
telling Chabot earlier about this. Referees, if they say no try, then the referee sees it. There's not enough evidence to overturn it. They stick with the on-field decision. So you could say that's benefit of the doubt. They're sticking with the referee's decision.
That's not really benefit of the doubt.
No, but you look at that. I think if the benefit of the doubt system was there, fans would really like that. If a call wasn't 100% right, they'll still say, you know what, benefit of the doubt, we'll let us slide. And the fans would love to see that.
To answer this question, bring it back, benefit of the doubt. Yeah. You got to bring it back, man. It served justice back in the day, man, and I reckon it served a lot in today's game. But how about we invent a new system? Why don't if there's it might take a bit of time to actually get the results, or it might not. What if you set a system where the fans vote? The fans vote on whether it was a try or not, because we all see the fans, you know, we like to have a little discussions on whether it was a try or not, or if the referee had a bad call, if the bunker had a bad call or not. Yeah. What if you leave it in our hands? What if there was a time period where, okay, the fans vote, you go here, you vote, and then they come back, they come back
get
with
the result.
The only problem with that is that bias might get involved into that, where fans will just say, try, it's a try. There has to be guidelines.
There has to be guidelines.
It can work,
It can work.
What if you get a group of selected fans, you know their background, you know their history, you know who they support, and maybe you hire them, maybe they get some benefit from them, and then they can decide whether that was a try or not.
That's exactly like on James Graham's point about getting players that have played the game into the room.
But this is fans.
Yeah, again, that will work too. I'm just saying, like,
they're
trying to get people.
I think that's a great way, but like you said, you need guidelines in it. Yeah. You need to do something where they will make the right call.
Maybe just not any fan. Maybe just, as I said, selected fans.
Yeah, selected fans. Yeah. That's what
that's not a bad shout, actually. Like,
hey, let us know in the comment section. Maybe I'm cooking right now.
You know what? Let's put it on the Instagram poll. Yeah, let's see what the fans think.
That's actually not bad. Like, I think
something fresh and something
get
new,
a petition running.
Hey, I swear to God,
do a petition already.
Hey, let's clip this, man.
I think we will.
Idea, actually. But yeah, that's a wrap up for a league talk. Now it's time for some wrestle talk. AJ Styles, or should we call him Mark Henry? Because
Part two.
Because the way he came in with his suit, the colored one, pink one this time, and you saw it coming. It was gonna happen. He turns on Cody Rhodes once again, and again, Bill mentioned after their fight at Backlash in France that they should have continued building it.
Yeah.
And again, they've brought it back. So it was good. Now Cody Rhodes has a proper rivalry to go with.
It's better, like, you know that promo, like, Mark Henry. But the difference is, as you said, we knew what was going to happen.
It was going to happen.
I remember watching that Mark Henry one at the time when I was a kid.
That was with John Cena as well.
I legit thought this guy was retiring. I was actually rooting for the guy because he was a heel at the time. And then, bro, when he did that to Cena, turned me off. But about this, man, like, Yes, finally, bro. I reckon this is going to be a better storyline from what it was to Backlash. It was a very quick one on Backlash. Now we're going to get some substance, some I don't know, something good in this storyline is going to come out.
Cody finally gets, now it starts.
A proper challenger.
It starts properly.
Yeah, there's a proper challenger now.
I think apparently the people are saying it's going to be a one-time thing again for what's the next one? Clash of the
Castle.
Yeah.
Scotland.
I think there's going to be another one, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes again. That's what I believe. You can't build something just for another one. You have to build for another one. Or
What, two?
So this is part 2 for the fight, but I think there's going to be another part 3.
Oh, okay. No, I think this is one and done. Yeah.
Look, talking about Clash of Castle, does Drew McIntyre win the belt? Because last time he was so close. He deserved it against Seth, but he didn't get it.
But he got robbed.
He might win it.
He got robbed.
I think CM Punk is going to interfere again.
He's been off television for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think CM Punk
I don't think they do that again. Not in his hometown.
No, look.
It's in Drew McIntyre's home.
Yeah.
Scotland. Oh, Scotland.
Well, it's going to be in
so
Scotland.
That changes the story then.
Or it could add to the story.
It could happen.
It could be CM Punk in his hometown and then ruining his chances again.
Unless Drew wins that and then CM Punk next contender.
Yeah, maybe.
It could be that. But would it be like Damian Priest just had it for a while?
Yeah, but
we've seen that a few times where they only hold it for say
couple of months,
80 days, 100 days. So
it's been like almost.
It's been 100 days. Has it for Damian Priest?
It's almost been 2 months.
2 months.
No, 2.5 months, 3 months.
Something like that. Yeah. So
I still think Damian Priest will get it. He'll retain it.
I don't think so. I think it
Drew
changes hands.
Drew wins it.
But do you think Damian Priest and Finn Balor he hinted
again about that,
on Monday Night Raw. What did he say? He said, "Is everything alright with us?" Something like that. And he said, "Just go focus on your match."
But
they haven't. You're right about Finn Balor and that Damian Priest. Surely there's a title match between them, so maybe he holds it. So it's a bit confusing to where that's leading that storyline in particular because Damian Priest hasn't really had a fight on Monday Night Raw. He's always just talking and in the backstage, coming in on the ring. So it's very hard to see who his next rivalry is.
I think, I was going to say, I reckon McIntyre wins, it'll be Gunther McIntyre.
Good, that'll be a mad match.
They'll create a nice storyline.
Well, I'm going to say Damian Priest retaining it because that's going to lead the storyline into SummerSlam with Finn Balor. So... Look, I know how Samuel said that Damian Priest hasn't been defending his world title. I was expecting that because when Triple H said, this is a new era. Why am I saying era? Sorry.
Yeah.
So if you're becoming a world champion, you have to defend so many times.
He's defended it once.
He's only done it once. He hasn't been doing it lately. He needs to.
Jey Uso he
did versus Jey Uso, but he needs to do it more constantly so that can lead to SummerSlam when he versus Finn Balor. Yeah, but he hasn't been doing it. Like I think he's been off. Because he's always focusing on Judgment Day.
They're trying to fix them up.
They're trying to fix up, but they're going to go out separate ways,
Like, there hasn't been a lot of defending champions. Like, Seth Rollins, I don't know why. I know it's a story about why he was defending it every week. But Damian Priest, I haven't seen.
Because he was a fighting champion. That's what you want.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes has.
Because he was the first champion, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah. That's a.
But what about Seth Rollins' wife, Becky Lynch? She's now a free agent.
About that.
She's a free agent. It looks like she might go to AEW.
Nah, sure. I think that's
no, I'm being serious.
She's
a free agent. She's a free agent.
Yeah, well.
No, I doubt it.
But talking about Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan did beat her for the belt. However, Dominic Mysterio accidentally helped Liv Morgan.
Yeah, and then so we spoke about that last week.
And they did
week
kiss.
Again. He's helped.
Part 2, it's happened again.
Yeah.
And Liv Morgan and Dom had a
bit of a moment to each other.
It was a good steel cage match, but the match itself was nice. I liked
it. And it just shows we're in a new era. Where have we seen two wrestlers kiss for a while?
Yeah.
When was the last time?
Yeah,
the last one was with Edge Alita, wasn't it?
No, bro. It's happened before. It's happened.
Otis and...
Otis and Mandy Rose,
That had one too.
Yeah, that was 3-4 years ago.
It's been a while, but with Dominic, it's... Everyone's. I always say the comments. Oh, it's going to be a custody match for Dom Part 2, which is funny. But like he's accidentally helping her. But is there something more into this? Like again, I feel he's trying to make her lose, but it's always going her way.
Yeah.
But
But
then I don't know. We've seen him follow her in the backstage a few months ago. So I don't know actually what's going to happen with this. I don't think he's betrayed her yet because he hasn't done anything to help her. It's just accidentally helping her. So
and he's
unless Rhea is instructing Dom for him to getting between the match, getting between Liv Morgan and the title.
Yeah, that's not working out.
It's not working
And
out.
then, because he has to, because she's watching. Maybe he doesn't want to.
Maybe, yeah.
And that's why he's trying to make it as if that he's trying to help Becky Lynch, but he wants to help Liv Morgan. And that's why it's going her way.
Because Dom has been caught walking out of the locker room with her.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah, that's actually a good point because that could be the case. Why would he be walking out of
Because
her locker
Mummy's
room?
watching.
Mum is watching.
And where's Daddy?
Are you the dad?
No.
Yeah, that's a fair point because what's the reasoning behind him leaving the locker room and with Liv Morgan? There's something into it, and that's actually
And maybe her kissing him shows that they've got something they've got something there, like they're in a relationship.
I think Rhea becomes babyface soon.
Yeah,
Once
It's going to finally
I
happen.
think the Judgment Days will end
Falling
by some
apart.
stage.
I wonder why Dominic wants to do this. Like, I know it's a storyline, but what's the reason to him doing this? Because he has a good relationship with Rhea. Unless, I reckon the reasoning why he might be doing it, he feels maybe too controlling.
I'm telling you, Rhea is instructing him to do this. He doesn't want to do it. He's got something on with Liv. That's why she kissed him. But he couldn't do it on TV because Mummy's watching.
Yeah. Not bad again. Bill's on fire today.
He's
cooking.
what am I cooking, bro? Fire out. It's better be a fire.
Is the Rock teaching him how to cook?
WWE now. I don't know if you noticed it was a SmackDown. And it's happened a few months where a glitch happened on the TV.
Yes.
It's
hinting, yes.
Because it happened before with
Uncle Howdy.
When he first came in,
Yeah.
there was these glitches happening. But again, it's been happening again.
It happened before AJ Styles and Nick Aldis.
And I don't know if you realize, Monday Night Raw, someone was walking out of the arena. I think it was Kevin Owens or something. Alexa Bliss was in the corner.
Yes, she was.
I actually saw that on Instagram as
so
well.
and apparently she's gonna be part of the White Six.
Yeah, so it's going to be
I
a
think
massive faction, man.
It's starting to get there.
I think it's going to be Braun Strowman in it.
Luke
Eric Harper as well.
Sorry, not Luke Harper. Eric Rowan.
Even
Eric
Bo
Rowan,
Dallas
yeah.
is there, apparently.
But he's the main one.
Yeah,
He's
he's
Uncle Howdy. Yeah, Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy, so yeah.
And then you got, what's his name? Who's that bloke, the one that had the storyline with Indy Hartwell in NXT?
Yeah, there's another one.
What's his name? The one that has all the tats. What is that?
Oh,
You know who? But he's always silent. He doesn't speak like the whole.
I know it's going to be Alexa Bliss and one other girl.
Let me find
the
it
one
for you
that's
guys.
the one that's
the
friends
one
with Becky Lynch.
The British girl.
The Scottish.
No.
There's
She's
two
another
girls.
one
I'm talking about
joining.
the guy, the one that has.
But there's another Scottish girl.
What's his name?
The one that's with
Alexa Nikki Cross.
Yeah, that's
Nikki
right,
Cross.
She's in it too.
And then that guy as well, Josh something from NXT as well.
If you remember with Nikki Cross, there was a time in. You know how she was a superhero girl before?
Yes.
There was
like
a time where
possessed.
she's like possessed, but they never got back into that.
Yeah.
So I think that's linked with that too.
There's something good
I'm trying to
that they
find
got
his
going
name.
on, man.
Finally, we need a good group. Like, I know Judgment Day is about the Wyatt family
I
sort
wonder
of.
where this is going to lead to. Like, what's the rivalry? Who are they going to go to?
Yeah. Unless they're going to...
Dexter Loomis. That's him.
Oh, Dexter Loomis.
Dexter
that's
Loomis.
right.
He's going to be in the
Dexter
one
Loomis.
faction as well.
Dexter Loomis?
Yeah,
you
they
know
want
the
to put
one
him
that was
in.
with-
Triple H is
Alright.
actually doing
So what do you
something
think
really good.
this storyline?
I reckon the first
hard,
sort
man.
of storyline is they're going to attack everyone maybe that Wyatt lost
LA
to.
Knight.
A lot of Bray Wyatt's enemies.
Randy?
Yes.
Randy
Randy Orton.
A lot of his enemies that he lost to or had big rivalries.
I reckon it'll be LA Knight first.
LA Knight.
Surely Bill's not
Randy
working
Orton.
with WWE.
I'm
He's
working.
thinking of everything,
I'm
yeah.
working.
No, I
with him.
reckon LA Knight maybe because he might get a USA Championship match with Logan Paul. Maybe that's the start off. They come in because I think that title match will be in SummerSlam.
I think it would. Yeah, that's
if it's
why.
them two, the Wyatt Six ruin his chances.
That's-
And Logan retains there.
That's
maybe.
why Logan Paul, LA Knight, sorry, he actually called out Logan Paul. He wants to challenge him for the United States Championship. And I think he deserves his spot now to get a title. He hasn't won a title
He
yet.
hasn't won a title.
He- the only title that he did win was in NXT when he won the $1 million championship against, what's his name? Cameron Grimes.
Yeah.
So I think now LA Knight needs to win the US title.
He's due one.
And now he will defend it, but he will become world champion. Not this year, maybe next year.
Maybe,
it's going to be in the works. So
But yeah, I just can't wait till Uncle Howdy comes back.
That's
I can't wait
mad.
for that,
That's
man.
mad.
You know,
It's-
WWE.
It's
is
gonna
got-
bring a lot of memories back from when
Yes.
Bray Wyatt was here,
yeah.
and then they're gonna reference him in a lot of
course.
ways,
A lot of ways,
and that's why I think they're gonna build their storylines around Bray
I can't wait
Wyatt.
to see Eric Rowan.
Yeah, Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman as well. That's gonna be mad.
I think there'll be a remix.
Yeah.
But you know what? God rest his soul to Bray Wyatt, man. You know what? He was the best wrestler, bro.
But anyways, that's a wrap up for Wrestle Talk for this week. Anthony, let's get on to some combat talk.
Can't wait. All right, guys, welcome back to Combat Talk. We're going to be recapping the UFC 302 on the weekend.
That's it. And also, we've got a bit of boxing news too on top of that.
Yeah, on top
but
of
let's
that.
start with UFC 302. Great event, man. No knockouts in that card on the main card, or I think in the prelims there was no knockouts.
Yeah, there wasn't that much.
Might be the new UFC gloves. But yeah, man. You want to start off with Kevin Holland's
Yeah,
fight?
we'll start with Kevin Holland. I can't say it. Kevin Holland versus Michael Shizek. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, he went straight for the armbar. He was on the floor. He was attacking it, but he was trying to attempt the submission that. So he rolled like through them. He was maintaining the whole control like on the floor and that.
Yeah.
To be honest, like he actually extended the elbow of Michael's arm.
Bro, that was gruesome.
Yeah, but then he popped the elbow. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that, man. Did he tap?
Yeah, he did tap.
But like didn't look like he tapped.
I couldn't see it from the angle, but
I think it was because he popped out his elbow, but that was gruesome. I was just waiting for him to tap. He wasn't tapping, and then they ended the bout in round one.
Dean actually
round one, yeah?
Yeah, round one. Herb Dean actually stopped the fight.
Kevin Holland, man, he's too good. Too good, Kevin Holland. What was his last fight? Who did he face?
I'm not too sure.
Kevin Holland, and it was on UFC 300, wasn't it?
I think so. I'm not too sure. I can't remember.
But yeah,
but he actually said to Joe Rogan that Joe Rogan asked him, who do you want to fight next? He said, I don't care if it's in the top of the division or in the lower of the division, like in the same whatever division he is in. Yeah. He wants to get more fights. Look, honestly, he's actually like getting better every time, like when he's in the octagon, you know? Yeah. Especially with his submissions, like he's actually like getting the right spots and tapping them out.
Yeah.
But I like his strikes too, but that's his strategy, that's his fight style.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, but it was a great fight. Now, next fight, Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. Strickland ends up getting it done via unanimous decision.
By split decision, actually.
Was it unanimous or split?
Nah, split.
Oh, yeah, because it
was very
we'll get into that. That was total bullshit.
Yeah, it was.
But the fight itself, Strickland dominated, man. I was just waiting for him to knock out Costa because Costa didn't really have anything in his arsenal.
Yeah.
He only had his leg kicks early on in that fight.
That's right.
They were landing well, and I feel like it was damaging Strickland. But other than that, even Costa's leg was starting to give out too. Yeah. I think from his leg kicks, he tried to land a few roundhouse kicks, wasn't landing. Strickland had an answer for everything. But the thing about Strickland that won him that fight was that forward pressure he had. Yes. Kept coming forward. He was actually exerting no energy, man, especially in those early rounds. That's why we saw Costa get fatigued at the back end of that fight, and then Strickland barely breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just his jabs as usual, man. It was
he's
deadly,
so dangerous,
powerful jabs.
Yeah.
He set up those shots well. Just walked him down, man. That's really how he won that fight.
Exactly.
But I want to hear about your opinions on that fight.
Look, honestly, Sean Strickland actually controlled the whole fight. He attacked like the legs from Paulo Costa as well. He had a couple of heavy shots as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, like when he was checking those shots, like he was in the rhythm as well. Like he was like well balanced, focused. But I think Paulo Costa was off balance, man. Like it wasn't himself. Sean Strickland was controlling the whole fight. He was like blocking everything out. I think he was. He dominated. He was dominating the whole time.
Let's get into the judges' scorecard. One of the judges scored it for Costa.
Yeah.
I don't know in what world. Even Dana White had an issue with that. It's like
exactly.
He shouldn't
even
be.
Sean Strickland, he turned around and he's like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. Like
he was confused.
That judge shouldn't be officiating another UFC event. Even Dana White's like he should be going down to the lower leagues and then trying to make his way back up. Because man, to give it to Costa is just I don't know what fight he was watching. Must have been watching a fight on his phone, man. Another fight of Costa's on his phone because he wasn't watching that Strickland fight. I'll tell you that, man. But it's just that's why, man. Like, that's how sports are ruined. That's why boxing is ruined in many ways because of the judges, because of biased judging. He might have had a relationship with Costa. They might be mates. They might, they might share a relationship there, or it might be his favorite fighter, and he just gives him a few points.
But you know how you're mentioning about like the judges and that they take forever, to do the points.
Yeah.
Get to the point when the fight is done, put it like on the table, and that's it, and let the announcer say it properly. Because when they take forever,
they're always going to mess up. They're going to do something dumb,
Yeah.
and they're going to waste people's time. Like, they want to hear who won the fight, you know?
Yeah.
That's why Sean Strickland, like, he was going off his head.
Do you reckon what's next for Strickland is DDP?
Yeah,
Drinkers?
I think he's going to get his rematch. He
has
needs to get his rematch.
This should have been his rematch. Like, he shouldn't have faced Costa. Like,
Of
it
course.
was a total mismatch.
Of course.
Total mismatch. You reckon he goes for that rematch, eh?
I think Sean Strickland should get his title shot back because he actually deserves it. I know it was like 4 short against Dracus Duplessis, but, you know, Dracus
Arguably won.
Yeah, arguably, yeah.
But-
And how many times when Robert Whittaker was building Dracus Duplessis before he got his title shot? And I don't think he deserves it, to be honest.
Who, Drinkers?
Yeah.
Now, I reckon I know
he's a good
he won
technical
it fair and
fighter.
square.
Yeah, I know he does.
But I reckon, considering that fight and the outcome of that fight, and there wasn't really a clear winner in the audience's eyes, rerun it.
I think so.
Yeah, Strickland needs that opportunity again.
And that's going to motivate him harder now because after that defeat against Paulo Costa, I think that Sean Strickland will defeat Dracus Duplessis in the next main event. I don't know when that's going to happen. But speaking of that, the main event, Islam Makhachev defeated Dustin Poirier in round 5.
You saw my reaction on the vlog, man. I was gutted, man. Make sure you guys watch the vlog. I was vlogging. I went out with a few boys who watched it at a pub somewhere, and I was going off my head. I really wanted Poirier to win. It was his last chance at the title.
Yeah, I know.
Potentially has retired now. I don't know.
We haven't even found out.
He said he's not 100%.
Yeah, but I don't know if he does make an announcement or not. He might get a chance. I think Dana White will give him another fight. But
no, it's a matter if he wants it. If he wants to fight again, because he's like, if I'm not fighting for the title, what am I fighting for? Just the fight? He's like, I've got a family now, you know, I put my health first. It's just, I don't know if there's enough in me to do that again. But about the fight, man, what were your opinions about it?
Look, the first 2 rounds, Islam went straight for the takedowns. You know, like he was building Dustin Poirier on the floor. And even when he was when he was on the floor, Dustin was like this the whole time, and he was trying to find ways to hit him back.
Yeah,
like it was so hard for Dustin. Like he couldn't get out of it.
Yeah,
and you know. Islam's legs, he was full controlled on it, that 3 minutes straight. You know
that first round was scary, man.
That was very scary.
I thought he was going to get submitted in that first round.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was thinking.
I was expecting a takedown from Makhachev, but I wasn't expecting it that early.
Yeah, me too. Me and my mates, we were looking at each other. I'm like, I hope not. He doesn't tap out. You know. Yeah. But then when it came to round 3 to 5. He had a bit of momentum in him. Dustin Poirier, his boxing skills are good. Yeah. And Islam, what about his cut as well?
Yeah,
he busted out Islam in the head.
And you know what? To be fair, Poirier stood well against Makhachev, man. You know, considered pound for pound number 1, man. You know, he did good. I was very happy by his performance here, but he's stand and banged. On the feet, on the ground, he did good, man. Defended a lot of takedowns, man. Yeah. Just to read a stat, I wrote a few stats from that fight. So Makhachev only landed 5 out of 16 takedowns.
Yeah.
So he went for 16 takedown attempts, only landed 5.
And what about his defense, Dustin? 3 out of 3, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. 3 out of 3, 100% takedown. That's what really impressed me. And what also impressed me was Makhachev's striking, man.
Yeah.
Bro, he busted Dustin Poirier. All right, he got a headbutt, but still, man, he was piecing him up. I think he threw more strikes and landed more significant strikes than Poirier.
Actually did.
And that's Poirier's game, the boxing game.
Exactly.
So, mad props to Makhachev in that department, man. You know, he's an all-rounder. He saw that he couldn't take down Poirier. So it's like, all right, let's stand and bang. Let's trade shots on the feet. And he served well.
But they both fighted well, very well. Those round 1s.
They fought very, very good.
But it just felt short for Dustin Poirier. You know, look, things happen, but that was his last chance. You know, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's very upsetting. I know a lot of fans were very upset, and I saw.
Bro, I was upset, man.
I was reading all the comments last night and this morning too. Everyone's going crazy about it, but it was a good respect for Dustin and Islam together.
And people said Islam Makhachev dominated the whole fight. I don't think he dominated, man. My previous point, man. I think Poirier had a few rounds there. He landed many shots on Makhachev that really made him look like a human. You know, people like to say he's this Russian robot that defeats everyone, dominates everyone, but he made him look beatable, man.
It does.
And to my next point, man, what happens now for Islam Makhachev? Do you give him does he go up a division, or does he verse Arman to Surikan?
Well, that's
because he wants to go up now. He said in the post-fight interview.
Did he say in the press conference?
Yeah, he wants to go up a division now. He wants to face Leon Edwards. Yeah. Or do you give him now his mandatory, which is Arman Tasukan? I'm butchering his name.
Say his name. Because they're new fighters, yeah.
Tasukan.
I don't know how to say
Tasukan. I'm going to say Tasukan.
But your point, I think that would be a good point to go into the other division, lightweight division, isn't it, for Leon Edwards?
No, he's in welterweight.
Oh, welterweight, sorry, yeah.
So Makhachev's in a lightweight.
Yeah, so if Makhachev wants to go up division to welterweight, I think that'll be a very good move. So, but if he's going to go to welterweight division, he has to get a couple fights in him, to prove himself to be a double champ. If he's going to go double champ later,
But do you give him Arman Tasukan?
I don't know.
Because I reckon they faced before in 2019. I think it was a unanimous decision win.
That was in Abu Dhabi, wasn't it?
I think so. It was the Khabib Poirier card.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
he defeated him already. But early in their career, you took him 5 years ago. And when raised with the question, Arman, you should face Arman next. When Islam Makhachev is answering a reporter's question, a lot of people have been saying it. He's like, all right, I've already beaten him. Why would I face him again? But that was 5 years ago, man.
Exactly.
He got knocked out many years ago. He's not the same fighter as he was back then. He's a better fighter now.
That's right.
Arman Tasukan just beat Charles Oliveira at UFC 300.
Exactly.
Dominated him. And guess who also beat Charles Oliveira? Islam Makhachev. I reckon I think Arman is Makhachev's kryptonite. I'm going to say it now. I reckon he stands a better chance than what Poirier did against Islam Makhachev.
Oh, 100%.
And I truly say that.
And how you said about the throwback from 5 years ago when they versed each other, and I know how Islam won. But how you saying, like, if he gets the rematch, for his title, I think he should get it. I think he should verse Islam.
I reckon face Arman first.
Yes.
If you dominate him, if you defeat him, then go up a division.
Yes.
And then if you go up that division, I reckon Islam's got Leon Edwards' number. I reckon he defeats Edwards to be double champion. Yeah. And I truly say that because I reckon I reckon when it's all said and done, as much as I talk shit about Khabib and stuff, he's a good fighter and stuff. I reckon he's on that same level as Makhachev in a way. But I reckon Makhachev is better than Khabib when it's all said and done. I reckon he's going to be one of the best, if not the best, when it's all said and done.
100%.
Because if he does win the double champion, if he does defeat everyone in his division, which he really already has, why wouldn't I say he's one of the greatest to ever do it?
Absolutely.
Because when you face it, Khabib had 3 title defenses. Now he's tied Makhachev with Khabib. Had 3 title defenses and called it quits, retired.
Exactly. The last fight against Justin Gaethje.
Islam is actually taking the big challenges, wants to fight the best and be the best. Exactly. He's going up a division. That's taking a risk.
And he's proving himself every time.
That's why I'm saying when it's all said and done, I reckon Islam is better than Khabib.
Straight out.
Because people like to say Khabib is the GOAT. That's my issue with that. He's not the GOAT.
Yeah, no, he's not the GOAT. Islam, look, the way how you said about Islam wants to step up and go to another division and become double champ. That's what you're going to call the GOAT in the future.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious.
And he could be. I'm not saying he is.
But
why wouldn't I say he's the greatest of all time
if
he's dominating a division and dominated another division? Or maybe he wants to go for 3 belts. Who knows, man?
But before Dustin's fight and Islam's fight, did you watch the vlog? They're serious about their training and that. Yeah. How crazy is their training, man? Especially with Islam, they had to do running around the
Dagestanis, man. That's how they train.
Athletics, and they have to play soccer, whatever. But their fitness is different compared to Americans.
100%. But look, man, it's a great time to be a fighting fan. A lot of things are happening.
Yeah, it does.
But also another thing that happened last week or a couple of days ago, Mike Tyson pulls out of the Jake Paul fight because of an ulcer he had. Also flare up. We heard that Mike Tyson got pulled out of a plane because he had a stomach ulcer. I think it's a stomach ulcer.
Yeah, I think
or
stomach pains or something.
I don't know, but a medical issue. Yeah. A lot of people were saying at the time that will he pull out, which he ended up doing. He ended up pulling out of the fight. Now, what are your opinions about that, man? Should Jake Paul still take the fight? Because what that shows to me as a fan is Mike Tyson is 60 years old.
Exactly.
People hyping him up, saying he's still the Mike Tyson of old. He's still somewhat in his prime. He's gonna knock out Jake Paul. But when you hear news like that, that this is something my grandfather would have, an ulcer, ulcer flare up.
Yeah.
It makes him, again, as I said previously, it makes him human, man. It makes him a 60-year-old male.
Absolutely.
So what are your opinions on that? Should Jake Paul still take the fight?
Look, to be honest, the way what happened with Mike Tyson, I think your health becomes first.
Yeah.
Your health is first before anything else.
And you got to understand that Mike Tyson, I know he's done it all his life in his career, but at the age of 60 something, you got to give the bloke a bit of a break, like, a bit of a rest. I wouldn't give him the fight straight away, but let him heal up and see what happens.
I feel like even if he heals up, man, like the bloke sees fragile. That just shows to me he's fragile. Mike Tyson said he's still it's the best he's ever felt since the 90s in his prime. Yeah. But I truly feel like he's gonna get dominated, man, especially when hearing medical news like that. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know when the fight's gonna be.
Hopefully
they haven't announced anything yet.
Yeah, they haven't said anything. I've read the article today as well. Yeah. So hopefully the announcements come in like the next couple of days to see what's going to happen.
They're postponing a lot of events, even the Dublin press conference.
What happened with that?
It's postponed. I don't know what happened. They didn't reveal anything. I was waiting for that, man. I want to do a live stream or something around it.
Where I think you should.
Well, I just react
to it. Drop a video on it.
Yeah. You should. But that's a wrap up for Combat Talk for this week. And now moving on to some football talk.
That's astonishing.
All right, moving on to some football talk. As you know, Premier League, a lot of competitions are done right now. And now we're going to be focusing on transfer news for the next 2 to 3 months before football returns back. And what a way to start. Jose Mourinho joins Fenerbahce as a new coach. And what are your thoughts on that?
It's a good move. Jose Mourinho, you look at his time at Tottenham, didn't go the plan. Roma won him a Conference League, which is a massive, massive thing for him and for the Roma club. He goes places and wins things. And I think with Fenerbahce, it's something different to him. Not in Europe, but I think maybe his style, the way he plays might work there, might do better and might succeed more than he has done in previous clubs. But again, guaranteed Fenerbahce will be winning something because that's what Jose Mourinho is about. He brings trophies to clubs.
And they have won a trophy. Well, their competition, I'm not sure, don't know the exact date, but I think it's 10 to 15 years they haven't won their competition. And I think is the answer. I don't know if it's going to be long term. I think he'll possibly stay at their club for like, say, 1 to 2 years just to at least get them that trophy that they've been missing because Galatasaray have been the club that have always been winning it and a few of the other clubs in the Turkish league. But yeah, it's a great appointment and I think it's something different for...
Are they in the Europa League or Conference League? Well, if they're in any Europe... I know they're not in the... they could be in the Champions League. They're in some sort of European competition. 100% they have to be because they're always up there in the top...
Because the Turkish League was very close this year. I think it was like 2 points separating from them. Galatasaray got 101 points. Fenerbahce got 99. So
because if they're in the Champions League, Jose Mourinho knows what to do in the Champions League.
I think, I think it's only first position in Turkey that gets Champions League spot.
Okay, let's have a look now. Yeah, because I know it's only top 3 that gets it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Look, regardless of that,
they've made Champions League. Yeah.
Oh, so that's good. I don't think they're gonna win it.
But still.
But look, he done it with Inter when he done the impossible where no one thought Inter would win it. But of course, they had a much stronger team. But who knows? I still think it's a great appointment. It's something different for Jose, and he can build something special at the club and build a foundation for them, which they haven't had in a couple of seasons.
Yeah, well, it's as I said, he's going to win a trophy there. He has to win a trophy there. The fans are going to be expecting it, knowing the caliber of Jose Mourinho and just the person he is, the special one. He goes everywhere and wins trophies. So it's a great appointment, in my opinion.
One club he did it.
Yeah, Tottenham, of course. Now we move on to Arsenal's transfer news. They're linked to Sesko and Marcus Rashford. Should Arsenal be signing a world-class striker, or should a like of Rashford or Sesko be a good priority?
Look, you look at the signings we've made over the years. We haven't really signed big players. We've signed Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, so we've signed big players here and there, but majority have been players where we're just developing them. You look at Gabriel, Saliba, so many players over the years, we're just building them, and look what they've become. So sometimes it is good to sign these players, and if we were to keep on doing that, I'll be more than happy to. Sesko, don't know much of him. He scored 14 goals in the Bundesliga recent season. Rashford, we know what type of a player he is. He can really be one of the best forward in the game, especially last year was scoring a lot of goals, contributing a lot to Man United. But again, it's the inconsistency of Rashford why I wouldn't get him. But one side of me saying I'll sign him just because of what Arteta has been capable of doing to these great players right now at the club. Kai Havertz signed from the club, lots of doubters. I was one of the ones that trusted him. I believed Kai Havertz was a great player. If we got to put him in a position that suits his style, he will come good. And look what Kai Havertz has done, and it's all because of Arteta. So if we were to get Rashford, I think Arteta will do the exact same thing to Rashford. I think it will take time to get into the team, integrate him to the squad, to play in that first team position, because Saka and Martinelli, even Trossard, they're going to be the main starters. So Rashford could be a good player for squad depth, and if things are not going right for Saka or Martinelli, he could be a great replacement. So again, I would like to have those players in the squad, but I think we're in a position where we need a big striker, because we've built enough players, we've developed them, but again, we haven't won a trophy since the FA Cup. That's the big major trophy. For 4 years, we're still lacking that final trophy. And if we had signed an Mbappe, which has gone to Real Madrid, he's that type of player that can get us to a Premier League trophy or Champions League. And that's why, as much as Sesko and Rashford are good options, I think the striker we should be focusing on is either Isak or Watkins. Tony is a fantastic player, but I just don't think he's better than Isak or Watkins. Watkins, most goals and assists more than any of the players in the competition last year. Isak coming back from injury, got 22 goals. They're just incredible players, and if we were to get them, I think we'll win the league.
With Rashford to Arsenal, I don't feel Arteta will change it, because with Rashford at United, it's always a good season, it's always a bad season. It's always a good season, then a bad season. I think it's within himself that he has to find that consistency. You know, last season, one of the best players in the Premier League. If so, despite Haaland, he was one of the best players. And again, this season he's been one of the worst players. And again, I feel each manager has come to United, has gotten the best out of him, but it's with him finding that consistency. So I think if he went to Arsenal, I think the same thing would happen.
Is that the squad is a part of maybe
look, it could be, but again,
different culture from both clubs.
It could be, but again, he's been with some good United squads, but then he's been with some poor United squads. So again, I feel a move to Arsenal could be a good move to him, but again, I feel he's got to find that consistency within himself. Sometimes I feel it might not be the coaches that can turn the best out of him, because again, as I said, he scored so many goals last season, and you could say that's because of Ten Hag coming in, but this season has had a bad season. So I wouldn't say if he goes to Arsenal, he's going to be the best player ever, because last season he was the best player ever. So again, it's about finding that consistency.
And we're forgetting about Kai Havertz. The season he has had in 2024 specifically has been incredible. And you start to think, yes, of course, we still need another striker, but is this striker going to start? Again, I think we're heavily linked with Sesko, and I think he's the player Arteta wants. And that starts to put a thought in my mind that Kai Havertz is going to be the starting striker, which I'm more than happy for him to be the number 9 on the squad. But again, it's a risk, because we've seen Havertz during that before 2024 where he wasn't very good, very inconsistent with his performances. Is he the long-term striker? I think the Kai Havertz we saw at Leverkusen, we're starting to see at Arsenal. So it's a risk we're taking. And if Kai Havertz does take a dip in his performances, or the club's not performing well, that is where you need that big striker, that world-class striker, where when things are not going right, you can rely on him and he'll finish the game for you and get you the 3 points. But yeah, good links from Arsenal. But now United potentially buying Bruno Fernandes. There was rumours before the FA Cup. He came out saying, if the club want to let me go, I'll go elsewhere. If not, I'm here to stay. So what are your thoughts on Bruno Fernandes linking himself to Bayern? And of course, Jared Braithwaite,
yeah.
To United as well.
Well, I think the Bruno Fernandes one, I don't think he's leaving. Never in a million years he's leaving, because he's been our best player, most consistent player throughout these whole years, ever since he came. Why would we get rid of him? I don't think there's a reality where he's going to get sold. I think he's staying at the club 100%, 110%. He's staying at the club. He's not going anywhere. If the club got rid of him, they probably have a big replacement for him, because it's massive shoes to fill for Bruno Fernandes. People don't understand how impactful he is to Man United. There was a game where he missed and we struggled completely without him. I think we lost. I think it was a 4-0 against Palace. So yeah, I don't think Bruno Fernandes is going anywhere. If he does go, I'll be disappointed, because I love Bruno Fernandes, a very good player. I feel a very underrated player. People don't understand how good of a player he is, especially for a team like United. And with Jared Braithwaite, I think very good signing, a very good player. And I think with Varane leaving, he'd be a good replacement, a good signing for the future as well. Very young. He can come in, get teach by the likes of, Johnny Evans, who's had a lot of experience. Lissandro Martinez, a World Cup winner. So I think that's a very good move. The only problem is they're asking for a lot of money for him. So would I pay that much? Or even should United pay that much? Not if I would pay that much. I know that there's not a specific price they're asking for. They haven't really revealed it, but I know it's an expensive price. And sometimes that holds you back and withdraws you from wanting to make the offer. So I think United now, if it was the Glazers in charge, we just pay anything, pay the high wages, not really having the experience to know the correct wages to put out. Because again, that's what stuffed us up, the behind the scenes stuff of the club, paying players a ridiculous amount of wages when they don't need to be paid that much. With the Glazers, they have a good board now, proper structure. They know the amount that's needed. They know the amount that needs to be paid, and which gives a good look for us United fans, knowing that our transfer strategy now, the way it's been run by proper men that know how to run football clubs. So that's a positive, in that term. Not having been linked to a lot of players. Again, I mentioned this last week. It's not specific players United need. It's more of the structure around the club and, fixing it, because we do have some good players. But again, it's very hard to pinpoint where exactly we need at this moment in time, because Rasmus Højlund, he's going to be our striker, maybe get a backup striker. So again, there's a lot of things that need to be changed at United. So it's very hard to pinpoint where exactly we need, because to say we need a striker, I don't think that's going to improve us. It's a range of players. And I think there was rumors saying United are going to have a 35 million budget, which I don't think is true, because you can't do anything with 35 million. So again, we need to buy a lot of players and get rid of a lot of players. And I've said it a number of times. Now, finally, is England overrated? Euro 2020, they failed to win that. Many World Cups, they failed to win that. And it's getting to a stage where these England players are starting to get older. Eventually, new ones will come in, and that golden generation of England is going to come to an end. And surely the Euro 2024 is their year to finally put an end to this and just get that trophy. Because if you get one trophy, it's a success.
I think, again, we've said it for a while, like, they've got probably the most talented squad in the game. France is up there, of course, as the greatest, but I think England is second best. I don't know, just something about this team where they seem to choke. Like, again, the World Cup in 2018, they made semi-finals. They lost
even
to
2014 one, the one in Brazil.
Oh yeah, and even the recent one, Euros. I don't know, something about them. I think maybe it's a coach. I feel Gary Southgate I don't think he's the best with his lineups and his selections. Like, Harry Maguire makes the squad without. Look, don't get me wrong. I think he's had a better season this year, and maybe he deserves this chance this year for England. But overall, his selection isn't the best, and maybe that's the reason why he's not winning any trophy in the Euros or the World Cup. Not only selecting the team before the games, before Euros and that, even during the matches, his lineups aren't the strongest. Like, sometimes he'd pull. I'm not disrespecting Foden on that. He's a great player, but on international level, Foden hasn't done it, and he puts Saka on the bench. Sometimes there's moments where Foden starts ahead of Saka, so these moments can affect his decisions and the way the game is being played. So that's a negative side. They have a squad. They've got Declan Rice, Bellingham, Maddison. They've got such a good team. Just something's missing. I don't know if they should be looking for another coach. Like, Arsene Wenger has admitted, I think after he left Arsenal, that he'd want to coach an international side, and he could be an option. It is a risk, but we've seen Wenger do it on like a massive Europe level and everything, so that wouldn't be a bad choice.
Yeah, you got to say England are overrated, because if you're not, yes, they're going far, semi-finals in the World Cup.
That's not good enough.
But again, it's not good enough, and with that team, you could say the best team currently on international level, you have to be doing better, especially with the players they have. And again, as you said, there's players in that team that are good in club level but aren't good in international level. And again, I think that comes down to the coach, because the system he plays, sometimes he's not getting the best out of those players. And again, on the Maguire thing, I think that's why he selects him, because that style of play suits Harry Maguire. He's not left exposed. He can be himself, and he can be a good player, and a number of times when he plays for England, he's such a top centre back.
Even the UEFA Nations League, they finished in a position where
I think they finished third.
Yeah, so that position means I'm not sure
they're demoted to the second division.
So that means it'll be harder for them to get to the World Cup or something like that. It's them finishing third affects them to making the World Cup. I think they've got harder games to play. I'm not pretty sure what's the full consequence of them finish third, but them finishing in that position has really affected them. And with the squad they have and the group that we're in, it's really bad that they dropped that low.
Yeah, look, England, they have an easy group in the Euros, and surely they get out of it. And on that note, we'll be doing a Euros 2024 predictor, with the ladder and the knockout stages very, very soon. Euro starts next Thursday, 5 a.m. Australian time. And yeah, we're looking forward to that. So yeah, a Euro prediction video will be coming out very, very soon. And with that being said, that's a wrap up to Football Talk, and we'll hop on with the boys to wrap up the pod. All right, guys, that's a wrap up to the Touchline Podcast, episode 78. Great chat as usual, boys. Make sure to stay tuned. Origin vlog. So we'll be doing the vlog on Wednesday. Should be out Thursday. Then Anthony skydiving. That should be out Monday. Then the vlog for Monday. Buddha's Parachute be on Tuesday. Then the pod Tuesday. We got guest Have a Chat Productions, Ray and Stat will be hopping on next Tuesday. So stay tuned on that. So this week's going to be so much content, fan cams, vlogs. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. And hopefully you guys look forward to it. And yeah, that's a wrap up to the podcast, and we'll see you guys soon.
Any last words before you go skydiving?
I'll be fine. That's all I say.
Is that all?
I'll be fine.
So Anthony will be hopefully.
Hey, we'll be holding funeral processions. We'll let you guys know.
And not to mention you're going to bring a priest as well.
Anthony will be with us, knock on wood, next Tuesday.
Nah, it'll be fine, man.
So yeah, we'll see you guys soon.